I wasn't in the Last Dance. I saw it YouTube last night. Good morning.
How's
Is it morning? It's morning.
Going?
Can everybody hear us?
Check. 1, 2. We forgot how to do this.
You know, I got a Polish sound guy friend, and I got a Czech one too. A Czech one too.
I was like, what is this? Where's this going? Oh, okay.
That joke used to
Derek's
say.
not Polish.
That joke used to go. I've got a Russian sound guy friend, and I got a Czech one too. But then I was like, well, I don't want to say that. That seems,
It seems
a
wrong.
little too close to home right now.
It's too close to home. But just wait until we have Canada and Greenland as states.
Is that happening? Is it on the way?
It's on the way.
50, 51, 52?
God bless us all.
52, 53?
God bless us all.
It's been a while since we've added a state. I'd like to see it in my lifetime.
Hawaii. Wait a minute, Hawaii's already a state. We didn't even talk about the fact that like LA is on fire.
Yeah.
This morning.
I saw a video of that last night. I was like, oh damn.
But
We got
BFG
sitting in
right
there.
over your shoulder, Sean.
Look at him.
You know, I thought about stealing BFG multiple times to take to my home and just put him in the middle of my magnetones and take pictures. But
That's something that would have easily been thrown away by most shops, and we were like, not a chance.
he's been in our little closet for a long time.
We hold on to things. We're like, this is special.
I know.
What the hell, guys? Where the hell have you been?
The dirty knobs.
We've been all over the place.
We've been everywhere. We've been everywhere, man.
The Dirty Knobs. Is that the Dirty Knobs?
Nah, I can't imagine it is.
It'd be funny.
The
if
Dirty Knobs,
whole
are you
time-
the Dirty
Are you the Dirty Knobs?
Oh my God, Mike Campbell's been here the whole time.
Actually, it is me.
It is me.
Let me tell you the secret.
I hope the Gauls have a great year ahead.
Brother, we had a rehearsal last night. We got 4.
Just bitching about it.
I was just complaining.
This band's gonna have a great half a year, and then we're gonna burn in flames.
Exactly. It's gonna be amazing.
Just when we get okay, it's gonna.
That's right.
No, it's gonna be great.
It's
gonna be great.
We hit 4 songs last night. Funny enough, Jonathan Robinson was hitting 4 songs the night before.
Oh,
you know what? Let everybody know.
It's looking
Listen.
pretty good.
There's going to be a members only special song
Listen.
dropping.
just so you know, this is probably the pinnacle of all our work. It's probably never gonna get better than this.
It was everybody using all of their talents.
It's probably only gonna get worse.
We're going to release it first to the members only, and then it'll come out to everybody
That's
else.
gonna be a test. It's slightly offensive, depending on how you look at it.
I think what it is it is
Badass.
historically correct and badass.
Funny.
It is funny.
And funny.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is
You
good.
can't take yourself too seriously.
And I think that's what 2025 is supposed to be about. You gotta
So we're
Coming back.
loosen up,
Well,
you know?
25 off with some flair.
Flair. That's a great word.
Oh.
Thrown in this.
Brian Carpenter, we received your lunch money, sir, and I appreciate it greatly. In fact,
Me
Derek
Johnny
and I
got that.
made use of that because you know what? We were the only ones here. Me and Derek, me and the D-Man. Sorry, Sean.
I was off recording
Uh,
a great up and coming local act known as Ice Cream for Breakfast.
it was the day before New Year's Eve.
Yeah, this is when you were.
What the hell
Hey,
is this?
you have an announcement
Oh,
to
yeah.
make to everybody.
Sean's like,
So
nah, it's
I'm
not
off
that
getting
important.
engaged and these assholes are eating a gourmet lunch. What the hell?
That day, Johnny.
Oh,
Y'all are about to say Texas Roadhouse or something. I'm gonna smack some ass.
nah. What did we have that day? Is that day we have Wendy's?
We could have. No, I feel like it was shoot. What did we have? Something good.
Okay, it was good. I can't remember though. I can't remember.
I don't know.
We had
Thank
something
you.
good.
Nice.
We ate it, and me and Johnny.
If y'all had Wendy's and the only pump up was getting the watered down milkshake,
We did have that at one point. I think we did because they did not have the salted caramel, and I think that's the day that old Chadwick Bar dropped off his Les Paul.
Yep.
y'all are some lying asses right here. I know what y'all had. Y'all went and got like y'all got the bone-in ribeyes. Y'all went all out. Y'all are trying
A nice
to save
tomahawk.
Exactly, yeah.
Aged tomahawk or something.
Derek brought a smoker
God.
down here, smoking that shit. Yeah, no.
Anyways.
I got engaged while they were eating tomahawk steaks without me. On your dime, Brian.
Congratulations.
I feel the love.
It's the end of your life.
God says when a door closes, you have to open windows.
Just know that this is the original Dirty Knob.
Oh, the original
They
Dirty
were
Knob.
copying him, and I believe that.
For Sean's lunch.
I believe
there
that.
you go.
Yeah, you know, I'm just saying.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm just saying that's you know. Tom.
You respect the Frosty.
You know, I feel like the Frosty should be 15% more frozen.
Yeah.
Because when you get it, it's
No,
always
it's ice cream.
no. They got to figure it out.
It has a diarrhea-like quality to it when you get
I'm
it.
not just.
It is
colder
like
somehow.
like
Yeah.
you could turn the cup and you see it all go.
Like it comes out of the machine, and I've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
For years.
Tom taking care of Sean for lunch.
Thank you.
Only for Sean. Poor Sean.
It's bad.
Wait a minute, not poor Sean. Poor us.
Poor us.
But yeah, no. Let's see. Boys, my guitar is stuck with the UPS in Mabane, North Carolina, because of the storm on the coast. Was hoping to play it through my car skylight that I had brought after watching y'all's shop tour. Well, that's kind of awesome. I hate that your guitar is stuck. We've had our own UPS issues.
Yes. We have a deluxe reverb that never got scanned in. I don't think it's UPS's fault necessarily.
I believe it might be the name. But well, it is, because you know why it is? Because UPS closed the little shop at their depot.
If they wouldn't have done that, it would have went
And that's
there.
where we always go.
So
we
I
don't go
guess-
to the UPS store. We don't go to, like, you know, the other, like, third-party places. We had to this time.
I mean, I
And I think that is...
I think you are right.
So it actually is.
Oh, dude.
You guys are bringing me some joy.
Tone Tuga.
What? No.
Look at that.
Did you
Johnny.
see-
Derek is the guy to have a fast food ice cream take. He was
No, he
about to
is. He
fight
is.
over that Frosty comment. He was like, that's the point.
I can give you the differences between a McFlurry, a milkshake, a
Let me ask you this.
Listen, you want to get somebody all up in arms? You go to Sonic and you order a Blizzard. like the Sonic and the Dairy Queen are near my house. Yeah. And Christy's always wanting those nasty Dr. Pepper with like nerds and coconut and bullshit in it. And so sometimes the kids are like, "Can we get ice cream?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, okay. I want a Reese's Blizzard," and they get. I'm talking about pissed. The first time I did it, I thought, "Good Lord, like calm down."
Yeah.
You know, it's a blast at Sonic apparently. It's burning in my brain now, but sometimes I do it just for fun.
Imagine working at a Sonic and giving a damn. I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever the hell you want. Like, I'd be like, no.
I don't know.
Here's a point to make on that. If you go to Sonic, especially on DoorDash, I just want you to look down the drink menu.
It's ridiculous.
It's a little
He
disgusting.
sent me to get some junk the other day called a sugar cookie with Diet Dr. Pepper, and I feel
They'll
like
do
she's making
anything.
them up. Well, they do. Yeah, it's really.
It's weird.
And like put nerds and everything. I don't know.
They have a drink there that Skylar wanted me to get her. It was called a Buttery Delight or
Can't
something.
people just drink like whiskey? Like
She
just
got
normal,
it.
just sit at home
Yes.
and be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Don't drink nasty
This
stuff.
thing
and
that
stuff.
she got, I smelled it. I was like, this smells horrible. She
Some of it
took
doesn't.
2 sips and she was like, I don't think I like it. I was like,
That's how they get you. And then you're like, oh, I gotta order
well,
something
no,
else.
shit, it's called a Buttery Delight and it's a drink. That sounds horrible.
That sounds horrible. What's
disgusting.
in that?
I don't know.
And they're just mixing. It's like when we were kids, we used to make these things and we call them suicides, and you do all
Oh,
from the fountain,
yeah.
and it would be like super nasty.
Yeah.
I feel like
And you're
Sonic
like,
is
it's
just
crazy.
like we're just wild,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
And it was
Whatever.
never good.
It's
like
never
you
good.
never drank it and we're like, and you're like,
You always regret it after you're like eating, and you're like, God.
because the
no.
moment you put Mountain Dew and any dark flavored soda together,
Bad.
that's bad. There's
Bad.
no way that can
My
be
son
good.
does that. He adds all the stuff together. When we go to Tokyo Express, it's like Dr. Pepper. Mountain
You
Dew,
should stop at the gas
Coca-Cola.
station and buy him some Pop Rocks and say, hey, buddy,
Listen,
why don't you just finish yourself
just-
off? You guys remember that scene in Malibu's
Oh
Most
my
Wanted
God.
where he's like, I'm going to kill myself.
Well, that was the thing forever. If you did Mountain Dew and Pop Rocks, you're gonna die.
You're gonna explode.
I don't think your heart's gonna explode. And maybe I'm sorry if anyone has experienced that.
Like, it's true.
I would just like to say that I'm glad to see our pal Tone Tuga FX with us.
Tone Tuga's here. Mike, you need to be here more often. Okay, here's what we need to do. This is the secret hangout. You, me, Mike, and Anthony
Oh my God.
from Marla.
That needs to be the mashup.
That's a dangerous dynamic
It'd be
pair.
dangerous. It's almost too much.
I think the D-Man could get on that.
I
And then
think-
we need to find you a counterpart as well. Because, like, really, you and Mike were together. Me and Anthony are together. We're talking about bromances here. We got to hook you up with somebody. I guess Victor would be yours as close as it gets, but...
I need to see if I can figure out if there's a 360 live stream option. So where we can set a camera in the middle of the room around a round table, and we all talk, and people can move the camera to whoever's talking.
Okay, I like that
I'm
idea.
gonna look
That'd
into
be
that.
cool.
That's a 2025 hope.
That'd be
dream.
cool as
I
hell.
think what we should do is have Mike Tontuga do random jujitsu moves to us, and then whoever.
He's going to kill me. Matt, what's
Get rid of
up?
my call first, though.
Matt's in the chat. I know he's at work right now. I hope that he is able to stay with us as long as possible.
I would hope
Sometimes
so.
they steal him away. They like to pull Matt out. And they're like, and they know it's Matt's happy time, he told me. He's like, they come in and if they see him looking at his phone smiling. So now he can smile.
Listen, I have to agree with Edward Marks that Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper are the absolute worst thing ever.
Whoa.
Like as a combo. Mountain Dew is the best thing
yeah.
ever. I hate Dr. Pepper, but yeah, you put them together and it's just.
He's got him backwards, guys. I'm sorry.
And the half off in the app. It's a good thing to know.
Here's another thing on DoorDash. Whenever you are ordering stuff from Sonic, don't do the combos. Order things separate. It is cheaper
Really?
by a lot.
How?
I save like $5 to
How is that even
$6.
possible?
Ours in Aberdeen might be broken. Like I don't know if they set it up right, but I know that the combos are like
It's not rocking here.
It's
We're not
like-
talking about rocking.
it's like $13 to $14 for the combo for like a
Well, yeah,
coney.
yeah.
And I'm like, but whenever I do them separate, the coney's like $6.55, and then I can do mozzarella sticks or fries or whatever, and that's only $5 more. So I'm hitting in that $10 mark or less.
Yeah, Alex is right. That is ass backwards.
Absolutely.
So I do want to hear Mighty Woodrow more about this. What combo you were getting?
Yes.
And
Also, what's up, Kevin Walsh too? Sorry.
we love you, Kevin Walsh.
The Mighty Woodrow's combo though. I would think.
Yeah. You guys are awesome.
Um,
I missed our little live streams.
Kevin,
I feel like I'm home again.
I put the we got a video that we're gonna do. I've swapped the speaker in my varsity for the Fane A30 that Kevin was so kind and generous to
He's
give me.
raved.
And I'm like, that's
Raved about
that's the
it.
thing. I have to figure out, and hopefully Anthony's not watching this right now, because I might invest my own money and buy
Oh.
Fane speakers for something special that we're working on. I don't know. I like the speaker that much in anything I've heard it in. I'm like, damn it. I swapped that out and new tubes, and what the video is going to be is old EL34s and the normal stock Magnetone speaker, which sounds great, but swapping the tubes and hearing it with the old speaker, and then swapping the speaker with the new tubes as well, and hearing all three of those options. And then we got a new one next door that we're going to test it against.
That's just, normal.
Just, yeah, and
A normie,
A
if you
normie,
will.
that's
normie.
right.
I think that's going to be cool. I'm excited to hear, because you did the clips, like, for real. Sean did the clips, like, for real.
Yeah.
Actually, Mike them up really
Tried
good.
to hit him. I got to
You
play
know.
him for you here in a bit once we pop off.
So, yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, Alex Holden. If I could ship you, Alex also visited us over the holiday
did?
break, and he
awesome.
came and hung out, and that was awesome. It was great, dude. He hung out, he got us lunch.
He did.
We ate pizza together.
It was awesome.
It was dope. He told us about his fishing adventures.
If we could ship you something, it probably wouldn't be Sonic, because I feel like that wouldn't be.
That'd be a waste.
That'd be a waste. But, I mean, they're better
Especially
things.
because by the time it gets there, well, there's enough preservatives in it. It'll probably actually.
Listen, I enjoy Sonic sometimes.
It's got to be the mood. You got to be in the
I do
mood.
feel like all their food has like this strange aftertaste. I also apologize for the amount of snot that I'm probably going to be,
We were a little rough on Johnny last night.
Where'd that ruffle me? The holiday sickness has set
That's
in.
the way you do it.
It's Jack's. You play the guitar. On
Jack Stowe.
CTV, Jack Stowe.
All right.
What's going on, man?
Woodrow said it's the Origin 50. It's a modern take on the Plexi /
Which I believe, is that what Mayor McCheese,
I think it
his
is.
amp started life
He's
as that? But he's
modified it.
quite a bit changed it.
Yeah.
So,
You may see what the mayor has done to his amp, and that may advise you on tweaks and changes you might want to make.
he could be.
Hopefully it is not damaged too much with UPS. Hopefully it was just a ding on the cabinet or something and not a catastrophic.
I don't know. He said,
implosion.
I think he used the words destroyed.
Oh.
Let's see.
Well, that sucks.
But hopefully they're like gonna, not just be like, sorry, bro. Hopefully they're taking care of it. Absolutely destroying my new Marshall combo.
So I'm gonna take a picture and text it to us, and
Yeah.
we'll put it up on the screen.
That's right.
Yeah,
We
text
will
me the
share.
picture. Me or Sean, either one.
While he's doing that, I want to say this. I've been meaning to say it in the last live stream because I set it up about 3 weeks ago now. If you go to Facebook and you type in the Casino Crew, there is a page that is a private page for all of us to go on there and talk to each other on. Go in there, click on it, and we'll invite you.
How come I didn't get an invite?
You didn't get an invite. I sent you a thing to be an
admin.
An admin. Yeah.
I'm an admin. I feel like now that we're through the holidays, we're gonna start actually posting things on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to announce it on the live stream to give you guys the chance to go in and post. And the thing there will be like, we'll just BS and talk. And if you want to share stuff like this, like if UPS screwed you over, you had something go wrong somewhere else, something going great, good things too, share it in there with a photo of you and your gear or whatever, and we'll talk about it on the live stream.
Dude, we should put our, I know we're gonna list it up to members today. We should put our unlisted version of the surprise video in our Facebook.
Should we say what the video is? How do you guys feel about that? I've got it queued up for just the thumbnail.
Okay, all right.
We'll do that. That's gonna come out at 10:30.
The-
10:30. I'll give a little teaser on it.
Yes, at 10:30 we're gonna do a teaser of the song.
Man, we're like a real live stream now.
We're like the
We got
real-
teasers. We got things.
The name of the group on Facebook is the Casino Crew, the Casino Crew, and I will I'll pull it up on my phone now. So if you guys send it in now, I'll accept them on the spot.
That's right. That's right.
Just because stuff like that I think is important.
Jack says Hudson is killing it with his new Telecaster. I did see. I think you sent me one video of that, which is awesome. I'm glad Hudson likes that thing, man. I'm glad Hudson is doing good too. I know he was having a rough time there for a bit. I believe it's just Crew CREW.
Yep. CREW. I got it pulled up now, Tom.
Jeremy already posted it in the page, so I'll pull it up here.
But
His pictures of his amp.
the old amp. Also, Jack, I want to see some new. Maybe in the Casino Crew thing, you can post us some more videos of the old your LR Bags guitar, because I kind of want to hear that thing some more. Oh, here, while you guys look at that, I'm going to get toilet paper so wipe the snot out of my nose.
It even broke the side.
Yeah, it did. Good lord.
Proving you guys that. Oh, that sucks, dude. Damn, like what they had to do something nuts with that. What was the packaging like on the amp, and where did you get it from? Can you tell us that as well? All right, I'm gonna leave my phone up and just keep refreshing that. I'll approve you guys as it comes through. We already got all kinds of people in there. We got Mary McCheese. We got I think James White. We got Tom Beatty.
Everyone.
Beatty.
You see that, Johnny?
Man, I saw that's horrible, dude. Who shipped it? Was it FedEx or was it UPS?
I think he said UPS, but I wanted to see where he ordered it from.
That is a bummer.
Man, that's rough. That is kind of rough.
The Ace Ventura treatment. What a guy.
What like did we say if the box was I mean, I'm assuming the box was destroyed with that kind of damage. But man, so what should we do, Sean, if we get a box, we order an amp and it shows up looking like that?
Well,
We see our like FedEx/UPS guys almost every day, so they know us. So if there's a bad box, like they'll wait and let us look at something. You know what I mean? So that they can mark it and be,
they jump on it pretty quickly. If they see that it's messed up, they photo it and help us out there. The first things you should do, here's what UPS says, and it's kind of ridiculous because most people will have skipped some of these steps by the time they get there.
Yeah.
you got to take a photo of the box immediately.
Yeah.
Like, don't open it, don't touch it, don't do nothing. Like, if you can have it in the doorway with the UPS guy or the FedEx guy in the background of the photo, like that quick, you have to do that. And it's stupid. Do that, then open up the box, show the damage of what is done on the amp and all that stuff, take photos of all that in the moment, and then immediately tell them, you know, what's going on. You could also, if you are quick enough and you can see that and see that it's messed up, you can refuse it and have them ship it back to the original sender. And, you know, usually the shipper has a little more power
Control.
in that situation to help get that pushed. We try our best to help people whenever that stuff happens, like one that we had get lost recently that we're trying our best to get dialed in.
Tom said, was it delivered by a Cybertruck? Too soon. What social platform is Casino Crew on? It's Facebook, West Youngblood.
Yep.
So Mighty Woodrow says the box was fine.
Oh,
So we had to just get dropped, like, a
Well,
long way somewhere, you
if
know,
the
not crushed.
box was fine and the packaging was tight, could it have been that it got damaged from the place that you bought it from? Where did you say where you bought it from yet?
In Texas, he said, on Reverb. There's a shop in
Wow.
Texas on Reverb.
Shit, was it Alamo? I don't think Alamo would send something out like that, but
He said it was packaged really well. He said it looked great. So
I
don't
am
know.
Reedy.
Good morning.
Is that Robert Reedy?
I hope so.
I know it's not Reedy, but you know what I mean. I think it is.
That is a bummer.
Yeah, that would suck, especially because it makes any kind of like new gear that you've been looking forward to. You get in and you're like, great. Yes, it is Robert Reed. Look at that.
Yes.
Not too bad,
It does
huh?
say I am Reedy.
It does. It does. It do.
Now me and Derek can
Indubitably.
eat lunch with Sean. Thank God.
Yes.
You guys aren't eating
Dylan,
lunch with me.
though. Dylan's
Oh,
Dylan's screwed. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, bro.
I mean, hell, I gave him a 20 yesterday for a couple of Cokes and a bag of chips, and he comes back with no change and says that I owe him 50 cents? Like,
Sean,
what?
Inflation.
Inflation,
They
my
only
ass.
had the 15 pack.
He was up there. It's like I told him. I was like, his ass was buying Black and Milds and smoking them outside the gas station.
They only had Rob.
Bingo.
What's up, man? Yeah, dude. But
We missed you. We've missed everybody the last couple.
We
weeks
have
because
missed
of the
everyone.
holidays.
This is nice. It's very nice.
we have missed
It
him.
was a good break, though. I feel like we're all energized. We're ready.
That's
ready
right.
to take
That's
on
right.
the world.
I just got our tickets for NAMM
Uh-oh.
when we're leaving.
Oh,
Confirmation.
is that what she was sending us?
Yep.
So who's gonna be at the NAMM show?
Me.
Check it off in the comments if you're gonna be down there.
They're like, no.
That's right.
Ooh. Oh man, we got to fly
Let's
from
see.
Charlotte back to Thingamajigger.
I'm just going to put the information in.
NAMM.
as well.
Are we
Yeah,
going-
put it in there.
We're flying
Thanks,
through
Senator.
Charlotte on the way back.
Yeah.
Are we flying through Charlotte? On
Charlotte,
the
the
way back?
worst airport in America right now. Maybe. It's pretty bad. Hello, Todd Roy.
There we go. I'll do it a little bit better. Just so
Man,
anybody
Rob's
out
got
there
8
knows.
inches of snow. We might get snow on Friday. They're saying it's a 65% chance right now for us to have snow on Friday, boys. But you know,
Who do they think they are?
who do they think they are? Are you guys excited about NAMM?
I am. It's my first one, so I don't know.
Oh, so you should be excited.
Yeah.
I'll save my cynicism then. Let the young man have his fun.
This sucks. This is gonna blow.
gonna
You're
suck.
gonna hate this.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm almost looking more. I hate to even say this. I'm almost looking more forward to the little thing with Castadusa.
I am too. The wood wire and bolts thing.
Yeah, that
I'm-
looks like it's gonna be awesome.
I am excited to go to that as well and hang out with. It's funny because like going to NAMM, we're gonna see people that we know and people who we would consider friends too. But
Yeah.
the wood wire and bolts thing feels more of like that's where our friends are gonna be. Like
Our friends are gonna be there. I just think it's gonna be cool.
it's gonna be great.
I
It's
just
gonna
think
be
it's
so
gonna be
cool.
rocking. Yeah.
I can't wait to walk up to Ariel Posen and be like, brother.
You suck.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
Did you say I sucked on a live stream? No, sir. I'm sorry.
No. He's
I would
watching it
never
right
say
now with
such
this
thing.
slide. He actually stopped and it's like, what? What? What?
Baritone strings flailing.
Ugh.
Castadosa's dropping us right now. They're like, you can't talk about Ariel like that.
Carlos is like, damn it, Sean. I talked to you, man. You can't be saying that shit, man. Stupid.
I wish those are all true things.
I love Carlos, dude. That's my boy.
Jammin' Jack.
My boy Anthony's gonna be out there. We're gonna be walking around. He was like, dude, you're gonna be so busy. We're not gonna have time to hang out. I was like, he doesn't have a booth. I'm like, just walk around with us. Like, like it does. Like, we're
That's
gonna.
the point.
Our goal for NAMM is to have a crew of about 50 people walking around as the casino
And just
crew.
screw around.
And just totally destroying stuff, like ruining people's times, walking into booths and just asking dumb questions.
A wake of destruction.
Like a gang of hooligans.
What kind of magnets are in this?
Did you guys know that Reverb didn't have a tube amp in the top 20?
How do you feel about that? Go into like Magnetone booth and say shit like,
hey, Ted, are you panicked? Are you panicked?
I didn't see any 2-Rocks in that top 10. What do you think, huh?
Listen, you guys, Jammin' Jack on here. If you want some good barbecue sauce, you need to go buy Jammin' Jack's shredder sauce.
Shredder sauce.
It's pretty darn good. Jack, put in the comments how they can do that online. If I don't know if your website is up and running yet, but if it is, put it in the comments.
You know,
and,
That's our affiliate code.
that's right.
Jack, if you wanted to make a hotter version of your sauce, that was like a spicy version, you should call it Jammin' Jack's Rippin' Sauce.
Ooh.
It rips assholes. And some might say pickled pig's assholes.
I feel like it should be like the shredder sauce, and then like the head cutting sauce or something like that. You know what I mean? Throw it back to Crossroads. Rob says he'll go to NAMM with y'all. Come on. So meet us in Anaheim on the whatever the week before. 2 weeks from today, meet us in Anaheim. We'll be there.
British Racing Green 12-inch Princeton. That sounds dope.
Okay, here's a great question. Our pal Greg McFadden says, play a Castadosa high voltage guitars through a 2-Rock. Incredible. That is pretty incredible. Wish Carlos would make a bass 6. Those fit me better than a baritone. I'm not going to say he never would.
It wouldn't surprise me if he would do that. I would also like to see, I guess the difference between a baritone and a bass 6 is slightly in the scaling, right?
Yeah. I mean, the bass 6 rather is just, it's just scale-wise and tuning this down lower.
Yeah, it's like all in E standard. It's an octave
It's
down.
just like, playing a guitar, octave down or whatever.
I think a baritone is 28-inch scaling and a bass 6 is a 30-inch scaling.
Probably.
I think that is the difference. I don't
know. I know with baritones, I don't know that there's a range, right?
Yeah.
Like you can find baritones in different scale. I mean, just like basses, but so there you go.
They are good though. He's been, dude. He's gonna make me act up.
I want to play more of his, just these things, not necessarily the baritone. Like that is sexy right there.
Dude.
If only I had spare thousands.
I kind of love the Lobo model.
I
want
do.
one of
That
those.
looks really sweet. Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Like if he did that in a baritone, I'm like, that would be
We've got a new
nuts.
model coming out that we've got a couple
We do.
exclusives.
Yep, we do.
It's gonna be
true.
sick.
It is true. Jim Jack says, is Baxter going to be in today? Yeah, Baxter should be around today. That's the plan, at least,
Pick up.
He should be around. The Feel Button's playing his baritone through a 2-Rock right now.
It's a good combo.
Cool.
A very good combo.
I will say, you guys will see this when we release the video. I was getting to play our pal Chad's 1960 reissue custom shop from the video, where Sean put the highfalutin pickups in, and that thing sounds incredible. In fact, Chad, if it disappears, I'm sorry. But, and I, usually I'm not the biggest fan of the thinner necks on the ROs and the 60 reissues, but man.
But it was dope.
Whew, might change my mind.
Robert, we will see you then. Thank you again for the lunch money, my friend.
We love you.
We love you. Live long and prosper.
Who here would love to see a 360 live stream where we're in a round table discussion sort of setup?
And it's kind of like that 70s show where the camera turns.
Yeah.
Like,
But they can move it themselves to see.
oh, the people can move it
Yeah,
themselves.
people can move it. So you can sit in a round table discussion.
Right.
and you can drag your mouse to whoever's talking.
And if you wanted to only gaze at Sean,
they
you
said,
could.
I'm smoking too much pot to be turning my own camera. And that's what it said. I was like,
oh my God.
Damn.
Listen, that might be
That could be kind of cool.
We do some of our best bullshitting in the circle.
We do.
At the table.
We do. I think a lot of people might dig seeing our creative process.
360 view.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look right now to see.
Do we see? Ned says, my 2025 dream is to try out a new pedal that was given to me by my friends who say they love me and then don't call or even say hi for weeks. We're sorry, Ned. We're so sorry. Did Ned get his pedal? Is Ned's pedal there?
Should be, right? You got the pedal, right?
Hope so.
We shipped it out. Ned?
Maybe we're having more
Ned?
problems with UPS than we think. That was probably USPS. So,
Right.
so
It's in a
we did
box.
ship it, right?
I think we did everything.
okay,
Like we signed
all
the
right.
notes and stuff.
But I mean, then we were gone for 2 weeks, to be fair. Mayor McCheese and Divided by Time Studios have essentially the same thing. Like Divided by Time Studios says, is there going to be any gotta have at NAMM, like anything unannounced y'all are hyped about? I was talking to somebody about this yesterday that I feel like there are so many new product launches throughout the year now that there's less of it at NAMM, especially since NAMM hasn't been normal. Maybe we'll get back to that. But I think less than like what we imagined in years past. You know what I mean? There's one thing I'm sort of thinking of that.
Martin's got a bunch of new stuff that they're
Martin's got some new stuff.
I'm actually kind of excited for that most right now.
That's probably the biggest thing. The other thing I'm thinking of, there'll be a group of folks who are like, oh my God, I got to have it. But then I feel like a lot of folks won't care that much. But the Martin stuff will be really cool.
That is a bummer with that because I feel like people just be like, well, I already got a good Martin. Like, no,
which is kind of true, though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it is kind of true. Because, you know, new Martin things doesn't necessarily mean old Martin things aren't good.
Well, it's got me sitting on the edge of my seat because I'm like, don't mess up a good thing.
Well, the thing about it, right?
Good
when
right
they
now.
did the whole redesign, and now just the normal like D28s and triple aughts and stuff are so good.
Ass.
Part of your brain says, could they be even better?
Could they be even better?
And
I'm
then
like,
part of your brain says, God, what if
don't
they ruin it? They
yeah.
could ruin it.
I got
so maybe they
faith
won't read it.
because of how, like, Martin has been killing it incredibly well. Like, if you
for a
haven't-
while now, but I feel like quietly under the radar.
so quiet. Like the X series and the Road series and stuff like that. That stuff
They got so much better.
got way better.
Because they were horrible for a while.
They
Let's
were
be honest.
bad.
The X series
That
was
was
really bad for a
dogging,
while.
dude.
But man, they've
It's
gotten
like
really.
in the last 3 or 4 years, I've seen the X series and Road series like step up, and I'm like, dude, I kind of want like a triple out 12. I'm like, that thing kind of rips.
I forgot how good Baxter's little old Martin is, and it was really. What year is that one? 40. What year is that?
That one, 1942.
42. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways,
Martin Mini versus GS Mini. Sorry, GS Mini.
Tough to beat
the
the GS
Martin Mini, that one isn't included in that. It's really the Martin stuff that is hitting that like $899 to $1,000 point, which I guess GS Minis are now too, which is crazy.
I don't mind that Dreadnought Junior, but the GS Mini is better.
Yeah.
In our opinion.
Go for it. What were you gonna say?
Putting on the riffs, opinions on the Boogie Fillmore. You know the Mesa Boogie, the Fillmore. They got a 50 and a 25. Little amps.
I'm gonna check it out.
I personally like them very much.
I personally don't like Mesa Boogies all that much, but that's just me.
Well,
Mark, don't kill
you'd
me.
be okay
I
with
was
this one
just
because it falls in the category. It's not a billion knobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a really good Fendery thing with but with some gain. But you know, there's not 74 rectifiers and 97 knobs and knobs in the back. And
I got a quadruple rectifier, a quad rectifier.
I like the Fillmore.
Sean, we're gonna play a game. Johnny knows who this is, but I'm gonna see if you know who this is.
Is it a photo or is it a sound?
It's a photo that's gonna pop up on the screen. I want you to tell me if you can guess who this person is.
I'm ready. Sean hates Gary Moore.
Who do you think that is? If you're going to guess, famous
It looks
guitar player.
it looks like Rory Gallagher right off the cuff, but he's playing a Telecaster, which is wrong.
Body rate? What?
Who is that?
You're right.
Is it not? Is it Rory
It
Gallagher?
is Roy Gallagher.
Why is he playing a Telecaster?
That's a good question.
It's a psyop.
Why they put that on his statue in
Yeah.
Ireland?
I'm telling you guys, Rory played a Telly almost as much as he played a Strat.
Yeah, but the Strat's cool, dude.
That's because Fender wanted you to think that.
No.
They're like, let's take the paint off and make a custom.
Frig Fender. I'm talking about Strats are
Fender
cooler.
going to release
I tell you.
a new Telecaster.
No.
Roy Gallagher edition.
No.
This is the launch. This is
Talk
the
it.
viral launch.
No. Well, first off,
You know what this kind of reads as to me? It's kind of like, and Mark, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you for your sweet comments on the Instagram post. Skylar was laying in bed and she said, "Do you know who just commented?" And I was like, "Who?"
and Sean's thinking like back through old.
I know.
It's like,
I'm like, "Oh fuck, oh
God.
shit!" And then she goes, "Mark Agnesi," and I was like, "Damn it!" Anyways,
Uncle Mark, is that you?
it's that kind of reads, if Fender does that kind of reads like Jimi Hendrix played Gibson just as much as he played Fender, and I'm like, okay,
Listen.
So how
two
do you-
times.
How do you think it goes wrong when you're doing a statue? Because this isn't the first statue that we've seen
Yeah, where they blow up.
jacked up. Athletes always have the worst statues.
Yeah, I think that.
How do you get something so fundamental wrong?
Well, the face is good. The hair looks good. He looks good. Like I can see that, and I'm like Rory Gallagher. Like but also.
I'm impressed that you got it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a closeted Rory Gallagher fan. I also
Hate Clapton, but love Rory.
Yeah, fuck Clapton. What I do want to say is Gary Moore. I love Gary Moore too. I just like to talk shit. I love Gary Moore and Rory Gallagher. Honestly, there's a lot of cool Irish guitar players that don't get the cred. I'll tell you.
Like Bono.
I'm talking about Mr.
You guys
the
see
Edge.
the Green Falcon? The Green Falcon.
Jonathan, explain why do you think the Strat got so much more attention than the Tele? Because you say all the good live stuff.
Well, I'm not saying all this. So I'm just saying if you go and you search live stuff on YouTube of Rory Gallagher, especially when he's playing slide, you're going to find him playing a Tele. And I think it's split about evenly, right? I think because the finish came off of that Strat, I just think people were like, oh my God. Because I just want, they're like, oh my God, he wore the
It's a
finish
little
off.
baffling.
It's his thing,
Yeah.
Which apparently the thing is, it wasn't even that he wore it all. Like he cleaned
Yeah.
it with some stuff that ate the finish off. And then obviously there is wear.
Well,
but,
see, I don't think about Rory Gallagher in like slide. Like, and maybe this is how. I don't know. I don't know. You guys say what you think whenever you think of Rory Gallagher, because what I think of is the Strat moves where he's running around on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And he's falling on the
I'm looking
ground
at
and he's playing all that stuff and he's like hitting the whammy bar.
Which
and
is
stuff.
awesome, and I do think there is an iconic, like, it's cool that he was like Strat through a Vox, through an AC30. I think that's pretty cool.
I think too, Rory Gallagher falls into this place kind of similar to Gary Moore, where it's not so much any of the songs; they're just like great players. I actually love the work that
I also
they
think
do.
he's a great showman.
Yes.
I mean, they had to have taken that picture from this or something.
Well, I will say the statue's face doesn't really catch what is going on there for Roy either. Like I feel like it's a little off, but I also don't work with bronze, and I'm sure that's a mother to do.
Oh yeah, probably so.
I mean, it's got the long hair and the sideburns. It's got kind of a Charlie Star vibe.
It's kind of an odd. Did you find the picture they took it from?
No, but I mean, I found some
With him playing the
with
Tele.
him playing the Tele.
Okay, so apparently he had a 59 Fender Esquire.
He had a 66 Fender Tele, a white one that he played a lot.
Like here's him with a Tele. I have seen the controversial statue of. Apparently there is a video.
Guitar hero Rory Gallagher has been unveiled at the Belfast's music venue Ulster Hall. The work sparked controversy and provoked mixed reactions. Many have remarked that Rory is depicted with the wrong guitar. Others have harmonized that it resembles a statue of Bonnie Raitt.
All things we said without watching this.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the picture they must have
Don't get
used.
us demonetized, Johnny.
Okay, sorry.
Playing the stuff.
Sorry.
Ah,
It's not like we're gonna make any money anyways. That's fine.
It's just a reel.
See, like, here's Center Boy in 1971 where he's playing a guitar very similar to that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But no, I mean it would have made more sense you thought to put him with Strat. But hey, the people who make the statues probably aren't guitar aficionados.
I mean,
I'd imagine.
What's a better way to to rectify something that resembles an artist? Is it a statue? Would you want a solid statue of you built, or would you want?
No.
I don't know.
No, I would not.
You know what I mean?
The statues that I think are awesome of guitar players. There's the Chet Atkins one in Nashville. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I've
about?
always liked the. Yes, I do know the one you're talking about. I like the Doc Watson one.
That's the other one I was about to say.
The Doc Watson one is magical.
Is killer.
Especially all the girls who go and sit on his lap and. Yeah, that's dope.
Look at this one. I mean, I'm not sure.
Who is that?
That's Hendrix.
I just like all the memes talking about him owing Jabba the Hutt money, like being frozen in Cartman, which I think is kind of funny. No, Jabba, I'll pay. And then
Well, this is what I mean. I'm like,
Find all of the worst statues.
the Phil Lynott statue is really good. That one they did it right on. If you look up that one, it looks good, I think.
All right, now.
Rob says to tell you he was using the statue for structural support. That is actually kind of funny.
That is funny.
So, what are you gonna do? You know. Yeah.
I could not stand Springsteen or his music. What do you mean, Todd? What do you mean? People in North Carolina really can't stand Bruce Springsteen. I have no issue with him, but there's people here like, never again. He canceled the show.
There's
You remember that was
people.
15 years ago, dude. He canceled that show, and it's like they will not let
Hey,
it
to
go.
be fair, I hated most of his songs before that.
SRV one's pretty good.
SRV's good.
SRV's good.
I like that they used like the like one of those last. You know, he was a costume kind of guy. That last outfit that he went out on. You know, because I also that last record of his was my favorite.
Of the boss?
No. Of,
SRV. I'm sorry, I'm really reading Sean Brooks'
Come on,
comment.
dude.
Your last album of SRV?
Yeah, that last what is it? Instep or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Walking the
that-
tightrope.
That was probably the most sort of like commercially
Yeah.
viable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It just felt like a high. Like everything felt really good on that record. And then the earlier stuff's great too, but it was just that was the record for me that I was like, damn, okay. It's like he was like, I'm gonna write a good song and I'm gonna show people that I can play the hell out of this guitar.
I'm gonna play the hell of it. I gotta see. Sean Brooks says the statue was commissioned by? Now, that would be interesting because that would mean that, yeah, they are launching. They're for sure launching a friggin'
You know,
the Rory Gallagher Esquire.
is it just me or would that be really gross at the same time? Where
it
you're
would
like,
be
you
kinda gross.
pieces of shit.
I mean, I understand.
That's fine.
But,
No, he's just as much of a telly guy. It's like,
Listen,
you motherfucker.
I also meant to answer this. Sean Brooks said, he was asking about that, why did the SF-53 not do as good as the Silver Sky? He's like, John Mayer can't be that popular. Actually,
Yeah.
John Mayer is that popular, I think. I mean, and if you don't love John Mayer and you're not around John Mayer fights, then you wouldn't know. But there is like,
Well, you've been in the game long enough
Yeah.
to see where kids come in and they would play at one point, you know, the White Stripes or whatever it was, and then that transitioned into
slow dancing in a burning room.
And
Over
hearing
and
that
over
riff
and over.
over and
Poorly.
over, and not like the song never progresses. They just play the same.
And then they sort of like come in a few weeks later and they've learned it a little better, like a little closer to right. And then they finally kind of learn it the right way and it's like
Dude.
stumbling through it. And
John
listen, that's
Mayer
great.
is another dude, and Zach Person is, if he's out there watching this live stream right now, he's gonna like throw his hands up and he's gonna be sending me a message because he does it every
Sean,
time.
You piece of.
Him and Eric Clapton are in the same. They're in the same cage for me. I'm like, bad, not good. Like, good, your daughters.
Till John Mayer at the NAMM show.
I'll be like, brother, you are one handsome, tall son of a bitch. But
Yeah, there's nothing worse than taking a selfie with John Mayer. I know. You look like a
I don't
idiot.
care, dude.
I mean, but
Listen,
so-
I'm gonna look like an idiot either way. Here's what I walk into the room with: my balls in my hand to say, "Hey, brother, I love what you're doing, but I hate what you're doing."
So do you objectively think John Mayer is bad?
No, subjectively, totally subjectively. I know it's just not for me. Like, I hear Daughters and I'm like lame. I hear
Well, I get that. I get
Gravity
that
and I'm like, who cares?
I do
yeah.
think he's a great player, though. You know.
I mean, I think he's overrated. Like, I think of the other players in the world right now that are, I would so much rather listen to just for the style alone.
Well, sure.
And like their growth pattern, how they're going to be in the future and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, and I'm not saying that because I think he's a bad player. Once again, not objectively. Subjectively to me, I'm like, I don't care.
He's you forget, like, because he's so handsome and young looking, you're like, oh, he's young, but he's not.
He's been doing it for 25 years.
He's been doing it a long time. So
his first record came out the year I was born.
I think his arc was from, those first few records to Continuum, then to the Trio, and then like we're there, right? And I mean, he's a pretty great player. He is. I mean, yeah, he's just.
Let me tell you what that tool bag said. That tool bag walked around saying, I like to define my career like Bob Dylan. And I feel like I'm walking the path of Bob Dylan. I'm like, go fuck yourself, really? Like,
that's
what
when
are you
I kind of wrote him off when he just had a rash of saying dumb things. But I'm just saying. I think
that is the like if I walked around here and said in town, I'm redefining myself every time that I shot one of my bands in the face, you guys would be like, Sean, you're an asshole. Shut up. Just because you do it and people are here on a higher level of doing it doesn't make it okay. And also,
Clapton would have ever joined another band as a solo artist.
You're talking to the.
Just became just a piece to a bigger puzzle. I don't think you would have. I gotta give John some credit for just going like, listen, hey, I'm just gonna be a part of the Dead.
I think if the right.
You got it right. He wanted to be a part of the Dead.
Just insane amounts of money, kind of like Vince Gill going on tour
to be the Eagles. Listen.
He made more money with the Eagles than he did.
I think Clapton, after his solo career, once he got his stuff together a little bit, when he wasn't a mess, I think he would have absolutely joined a band, had the right thing come together of that magnitude, like the Dead Company. I think he would have loved it. In fact, I think some of what Clapton was missing from his life was being in somebody's band.
You want me to tell you what I think could have happened? If John Lennon wouldn't have died in 1980, the Beatles would have gotten back together, and I think Eric Clapton would have joined that band and played guitar with them because he was one of the only people to be featured on a song as a guitarist. I think he was tight-knit with that group.
And he loved those guys. He loved, like, Harrison.
Him and George Harrison, I think that would have been... that would have been cool to see. For me personally, I think that would have been cool because I don't mind Clapton's guitar playing at all. I think he is just overrated at a point in time when there's so many amazing guitar players that were in that period that everybody else gets washed. They get like thrown to the side. Like, sorry, I don't know. It's just, and I get it. He was the first guy to do the stuff that everybody at the Blues Jam does now. But I'm kind of like,
I just think, I don't know that Clapton gets, you're going to be like, oh my God.
He doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't get enough credit that I do think he loves. It's kind of like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Man's an asshole, but I love him so much because he just devoted his life to basketball. Like, he's just so competitive. He wants to win everything. Do you know what I mean? I kind of think Clapton is that way about the guitar. Now, say what you want about him. He made some poor choices.
Joe Blow Up the Street did that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't know in the same way. And I know you haven't watched the Greg Koch thing.
I mean, look at that. Come on.
Listen, that man.
That's what that picture looks like.
I don't know. I look at that and I'm like, I love this man. I could not love Clapton more.
Divided by Time Studio says Sean's guitar playing is overrated. I don't do demos here, dumbass. Can you think I'm not even rated?
Sean's not rated at all. He's unrated. The unrated version.
That's a part of the problem too.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know. I just think Clapton loves music, and I think if the right band had presented itself, like that situation, I think
he would have shined way more, I think.
He probably would have, in the same way that we talk about Bonamassa would shine in someone's band. Like when he's with Beth Hart or somebody, I think he shines more.
Yes, well, and here's the thing with Clapton, and maybe I could better define, because I'm sure a lot of you think that I'm either just grifted on this or I am actually like absolutely hate the man. I don't hate Clapton by any means, but what I do like, I like the Blues Breaker stuff. That's dope. That's iconic. I hear that shit and I'm like, that's sick. Some of the Cream stuff's okay. I hate Sunshine of Your Love. Write me a letter about it. You can cry about it.
But you probably hate it because you just heard it 1,000,000 times. Right?
Yeah, I also don't think it's that like cool. Like whenever I hear the mix of the song, I'm like, it just sounds flat. Do 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 do. And I'm like, come on, bro. And the famous words of Tom Petty, I could have smoked 2 J's and wrote a song better than that. That's just my take, though.
I don't know. Old Tom Petty, I bet would. I feel
Oh yeah, no, he'd fight me over that. He'd be like, "How dare you?
How dare
like,
you talk? Here, well,
Tom, come on, dude.
there's
Let's hang out.
Greg Koch interview just came out with Rick Beato, right? They're talking about Clapton. He's talking about how he loves cream Eric Clapton, right? He said up until like 71, Clapton's voice was his guitar, and that's the stuff he loves. And he's like, after that, his voice was his voice, and the focus changed. And I thought that was really, you know.
What is it? I love Clapton on cocaine. Like, he should have kept doing cocaine.
Hey.
Everything in that time period, great.
He could do it. Layla outro from the Goodfellas chase scene. There you go. I'm with James White. I think it's hard to top old Derek and the Dominoes.
Derek and the Dominoes is good too. I like that.
But you know, hey.
I like that people are now trying to bait me with stuff to like keep. They're like Bonamassa, Red Shaw. Going to NAMM is gonna be a nightmare.
You like all those people, right? You love them all. Tales of Brave Ulysses is awesome. I don't know. It's okay.
Okay, here we go. Good
Nathan,
segue.
they're horrible.
Nathan's switching it up.
Thoughts and experiences. 60s harmonies guitars. Love them. All of them. I've had a
What
70s.
would Clapton do? Would Clapton play one?
No, he'd go and dig parts out of a trash can and tell everybody about it for 50
My
years.
God, they're amazing. And then sell them to pay people to get off drugs.
I'm so unique. I play a Strat now. It's like, oh, wow. You heard Hendrix had good tone, and you're
Can't
like,
all be great opinions.
well, I need some of that.
Um,
Dork. Anyways, harmony guitars rip. There's a harmony Strat that I used to play that I sent to my sweet, sweet friend in California, Tommy.
Tommy.
That he modified and put a humbucker in the middle position because he said, I'd never seen that before. I want to do something stupid. And it was fun. It was a great guitar. Clapton is better than Radiohead. Ned, you sent me a photo this morning of you wearing a Radiohead shirt. What are you talking about?
That was for different things. Only a Radiohead shirt.
No, it was him in a Radiohead shirt.
Just him and only a Radiohead
Well,
shirt.
yeah, I mean, and it was a small shirt. You get nothing left to the imagination. No, we still got it.
The longest running guitar we've ever had in the shop.
It's right there.
We had our dear friend Jack Germany gave us some awesome harmonies that are kind of fun. I guess they're like 50s.
What harmony do I have at the house right now? I've got a Teisco Teardrop fully hollow body guitar that's pretty dope.
Edward Mark says he listened to the Ghost anytime over anything Clapton.
Dude,
There you go.
I love what I'm hearing right now. There we go.
The Ghost.
Yeah, there we go.
The fluffer.
Start the legacy.
The fluffer's here.
Look,
Okay, I'm with that.
if I ever hit it big, you know how much crazy shit I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna riff on my own shit. Like they'll try and throw it in my face and be like,
as annoying as Liam Gallagher.
"Oh, it's gonna be way worse than Liam Gallagher, dude."
Listen, here's all I want you to do. Here's my dream. And you know I love Clapton, but this is just. Do you know the thing where like Sturgill goes out in front of the CMAs and busks on the side of the street? Yeah. I want you to go to the Guitar Crossroads Festival. We refuse to go in and just have a little like battery-powered amp and just play on the sidewalk as people are walking in. That's all I want you to do.
They said no real rock and roll allowed.
They said no way.
Sit there and play dope
I'm
stuff.
no Vince Gill.
Play a bunch of White Stripes and Jack White out there, just loud as hell.
That would be amazing, actually. I would get behind that. I'd get behind it.
Yes.
So harmony guitars, yeah or nay? You say yeah?
I say yeah. I love them. I think they're dope. There's so many like.
They do a thing, right?
Yeah, it's like, don't go to this expecting like you're gonna have
the most amazing feeling playing thing ever, you know.
And I think that's kind of the point. I think the point, like this guitar has the weirdest neck ever because it's huge and it feels like a 2x4. And you know, you probably can't play anything past that fret, I'm sure. But do weird stuff with it. Sonic Youth had one of these. They actually made it famous, and they shoved a drumstick underneath because they ripped the bridge off.
Yeah.
And they would move the drumstick to change the tonality of it. Do weird shit with these. That's the fun. I love old harmonies, dude. I've actually got one of Baxter's old harmonies at home right now. I'm writing on that's cool. That Hollywood with the bullet hole in it.
Yeah.
They also have cool stories.
I think those are fun guitars.
They are fun, man.
Those are really fun guitars, actually. So why not? Speaking of Vince Gill, did you guys see the clip of him getting up and singing live with Bukovac and Guthrie for Tom's birthday? I did not see that, actually. I think Bukovac played for Vince Gill, though, for a while. He toured with him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Was one of his guitar players.
If you don't know this yet, and I'm sure most people do, Tom Bukovac played for Joe Walsh, and he talks about that, and that is a really cool conversation. He's that sounds like that's like guitar player fantasy level of cool.
Well, I think when you got a guy, like imagine playing for a guy who is a real live guitar hero, who's like living legend, who sort of like wants you to play, like doesn't be like, get back there and play chords, son, who wants you to play, tells you like his philosophy on thing. I mean, like imagine this sort of education, even if you were already top level player, imagine the sort of education that would be. I think that's kind of amazing.
That's one of those people that Joe Walsh, and hearing Tom Bukovac talk about his experience with it, that's one of those people that you meet, and it's the, I think actually funny, we were talking about the Gallaghers, Noel Gallagher says about Johnny Marr, and I think the same is true of Joe Walsh. They just make you so excited about the guitar. Seeing Joe Walsh do anything with a guitar in his hands
is
you're like, damn, I want to go pick up my guitar and play it. And it's nothing with like the technicality of what he's doing. It's totally just in his hands. That shit's dope as hell.
I mean, that is pretty awesome.
Same thing with Johnny Marr. Johnny Marr just like if you watch a video of him playing guitar, because he just does things that you're like, it's weird. Like what makes you think that way? And it just makes you want to do
Both
something
those guys,
weird.
right? Like Joe Walsh is not like the kind of guy, but it's just everything he plays is kind of perfect and the tone's right and I don't know. Even there's these interviews that keep popping up on my like Instagram and Facebook with him and Paul Schaefer's interviewing him, and I'm like, Paul Schaefer, shut up. But
that's the worst, right?
But Joe Walsh is dude. You're like, man, that sounds like pretty amazing. Just sitting there talking to Paul Schaefer. Anyways,
is that the one where he's got the clip where he plays?
Well, he plays his Life in the Fast Lane thing.
Well, he does that, but then he plays the it's a Led Zeppelin song. Right? And he talks about it, and he's like, everybody thinks it's this, but he actually bends up on this one note, and he talks about all these details of the song.
Right.
And it's like,
pretty awesome. Revisiting Eyes of the Confessor this weekend. Yeah, that is definitely a list.
I just want to say I appreciate everybody's kind comments, and I absolutely love the hate comments too. Hair routines, actually, if you want to know the hair routine, do nothing.
Nothing.
Shampoo it and do nothing else. Don't worry about it. Be cool.
Cut it yourself.
Cut it yourself.
That's also a key part.
That's what I do.
David
Show up and do
Forche says that he wants to work in a guitar shop, BS all day talking about music. I wish it was always that. Sadly, there are some things that are slightly more mundane about it.
Talking about our wives.
But it is pretty fun for the most part. For the most part.
When they show up, fucking sucks.
Todd Roy says, I want Joe Walsh to teach me how to set up my guitar. That is a classic. Have y'all seen that where he's talking about how to set up a Les Paul? That is actually pretty amazing.
Hang on. Ned said, my mom used to brag that she went on a date with Joe Walsh in the 70s. Then my aunt told me it was the guy from Brownsville Station, but nobody had the heart to tell my mom the truth.
Did you see, Alex Holden sent me a video this week about Limo from Norms, talking about his friend's mom was like basically having like banging Van Halen. And he went over there to meet him. And then his mom comes over to meet him too, and they're like, "I'll meet Van Halen." And I've sent it to you. It's pretty funny,
dude.
It's pretty great.
That'd be pretty sick.
It's pretty hilarious. Greg McFadden says there's a couple of YouTube channels calling out Uncle Larry. I watched one where they went in and changed his Wikipedia page. Dude,
man.
Apparently that one guy he's feuding with is putting up clips of him where he's changed the audio, so it kind of sounds,
That's a deep grift, dude. That's hard.
Dude, well, I can tell it is getting under old Uncle Larry's skin because I've seen a few channels who are on the smaller side, who are like talking about it, like the feud with Tom Bukovac, and he's getting on there commenting in the comments, You can just tell he's kind of irritated. And I don't really blame him, he's trying to do a good thing for everybody.
I mean, that would be, it would be frustrating to know that there is, I guess the only way to put it is like that kind of slander out there, like on you that you can just find. But the thing is, and you're right, you can't really, unfortunately, once you get to a certain size of, I guess, celebrity, we'll call it, just for lack of a better term, that is going to happen.
It is, you know.
And it sucks, but it's also like, I think the best way to take it, don't even acknowledge it. Be like, whatever, you know. And whenever people point it out to you, you can be like, nah, that's fake. That's not real.
Well, this Vox U guy, right? Like Voice U, however you say this name, he's basically talking junk about Les Paul, right? Saying that like the bursts
Suck.
are not a thing, that they suck. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, if you don't own one, yeah. If you own one, you'd be like, you're great. Like, duh, dumbass. Like, what do you think? This is the classic old tale of like, and I'm not saying this to call anybody out, but we have guys who walk into the shop and they walk up to the wall of the guitars that are relic and stuff, and they're like, I just would never buy one of these. I would never do, and they go on this whole tirade and they say all this shit, and it's like
why they hate him, why they're dumb.
Exactly.
You know?
On and on and on and on and on.
Like,
and how much they
okay.
suck and they're not good and everything. And then they go over there and they pick up a classic vibe and say, see, this is it. That's why I would own something like this. And then they don't buy that either and they leave.
Yeah.
My point by saying all that is, those guys were never going to buy a custom shop. Here's what I want to understand. There's a lot of guitars I would never buy. I've never once walked up to it and talked shit about it. I just don't pay attention to it. I just get on with my life and go and do the things that I do like play harmonies that other people think suck. Like, get over yourself. What the hell is that about? That's a societal thing, Johnny. That's what that is. The internet has become an equalizer in a bad way.
This is true.
The bursts are overrated.
I mean, sure.
Uncle Larry's coming after you.
Whenever you play yours, do you feel like it's overrated?
It's partly, but you know what? Some of that is because they're in a club. And
Right.
It's kind of like
Yeah. You'd want to be in that club.
It's like the crypto monkeys. You know, the people that had the crypto monkeys, Alan,
Yeah.
and all those guys.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your ticket in.
I mean,
All I'd say is, don't you want to be in that club?
Cyberpunk, whatever.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I would love. I mean, the fact is that now you can't be in the club because a burst is. I mean, you can if you're like extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
Or you're like a really famous rock star. You know, where you're Jason Isbell and you can play 3 years worth of corporate gigs and buy one.
Buy one,
Cool,
yeah.
right? But like for me, the closest thing to that bucket list now would be like a really nice Gibson custom shop,
Yeah.
59 reissue, you know, which is still like $11,000, you know, for the
Yes.
ones that I've played. I'm just like, man, the
Everybody
jaw-dropping
that
ones.
has a burst seems to say that this is the most special
Right,
guitar
right.
ever, and we know from a guitar shop, it's just not possible that every one of those guitars
No.
Oh, yeah,
was an unbelievable
Well,
guitar.
and that's why I
they're-
think that's why they don't do. I mean, there's not 1,400 custom shop replicas. There's the Greenie and the Red Eye. And
Certain ones,
There's
yeah.
certain ones, and I'll say here's where I used to think like, okay, it's all bullshit.
It's like
and-
saying a certain year of a Ford Mustang was magical for some year just
Yeah.
because those happen to be a rare year that they
My-
didn't make as many.
My point is I used to think it's a crock of shit, and then what I've seen happen is where I used to think that like straight to the core, and I still think that there's an honesty line that has to be met there, but guys like Tom Bukovac and Kirk Hammett and all these different people in that vein, they have that guitar, and it's like they don't let that guitar out of their sight. Like they play that guitar more than everything. Now, how much of that is psychological and whatnot, and like the whole club factor,
There's a
I
lot
don't know.
of sunken cost fallacy within that.
Yeah,
It's
but
$1 million
my
on a
point
guitar.
is he plays that on records. Like they play that shit on records. They play that guitar. They take it on stage and they play that guitar. If it was overrated, you would talk about it all the time and swing your
Put it
dick
in a
around,
glass
but
case.
it would be in a glass
Yeah.
case.
But think about how much of that is like the marketing of them being in the news about it. Like that is a marketing.
That's
deal.
true. That
It
is
is
true.
now.
Same way, like
It is
some of the
now.
car YouTube guys,
Yeah.
they'll go buy a Lambo because they know it's going to get
Yeah, it gets views.
more views on their Instagram and all
That is
stuff.
something for only the last 10 years. Gary Moore owned one for 30 years. Why?
Well, here's the thing, right?
Why does Clapton want to get Beano back? Why? Why? All those questions, like all those things that are literally just, why?
Well, here would be my question. So, like, I get the marketing for, like, Jason Isbell. Oh, man, I want to go see him play a burst.
Yeah.
Cool. what's the marketing for Tom Bukovac? Do you think guys are hiring him for sessions because he has a burst to play? Because I don't necessarily know that it makes that much difference. You know what I mean? Like,
I think most of the time, especially from producers' mindsets, usually they don't have any idea what he's playing. They're trusting his opinion.
they'll tell him hey, that sounds like shit, don't bring that in.
That's right.
But
exactly.
otherwise, it's like, okay, that's the one. I don't think most of them, unless it's a producer like somebody like Dave Cobb,
Yeah, a guitar.
Really
a guitar guy.
Became a thing in the sort of video marketing age because nobody really gave two shits other than a couple really big artists.
Well, in the 70s, I think,
that they were playing.
I argue by the point that you get to the 70s, the myth of the 59 burst started. That's what I think. And because you hear Jimmy Page talk about it. You hear, who is it? What the hell is his name?
Do you think
what the hell is his name?
A myth about a 16-year-old guitar?
There was, yes. There literally was. Like, they were out there looking for that guitar.
The only thing that makes me feel like maybe so is because they only made them for those couple years, really. You know what I mean? They made 58, 59. 60 was different a bit.
But think about us going, we're looking for the guitar from 2006.
I know.
That was the magical year that we lusted after. And
but listen, guitars in 2006 sucked. Like, nobody cared.
I gotta have that American standard.
That was the, like Johnny just said, that was the first burst. That was the first burst.
Right.
Between that space.
Well, you're right. So in 1960, what they wanted was the guitar from 16 years before that. Oh, wait. There wasn't one. That's what I'm saying.
It was all new in 1960,
It was
right?
all
and
new.
Then just no one cared about it. I think that I think they maybe were starting to realize in 70, like, oh.
Well, because by the time you get to the 70s,
right,
all the quality of the guitars had dropped off.
It
all started to get kind of shitty, so all those guys went flocking back, and that's when that myth started, was the 59s. Like, that's where they go. There's a reason why Jimmy Page bought a 59. There's a reason why Eric Clapton bought a 59.
Some of that was just the fact that, like, those were the guitars that were around that were used, too.
There's some of that,
Do you know how Eric Clapton got his burst? Whenever he got it?
No.
Andy Summers had one.
Yeah.
And he talked to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he took the guitar in there, and he played it, he's like, it's a 59, it's a real 59, holy shit, it's a 59. Like, and he's playing it, he's like, this guitar's great. And
didn't he kind of bully him into buying it?
He did, yeah, he bullied a man into buying it.
No, I'm buying it. What do you want?
So to say there was no like, to it, it was like, no, there was. Like, they weren't like, look at this piece of shit.
Oh, not to what it is now.
No, it's not the same now, but it's like 60 years ago. And comparing, I think the worst thing you can do is compare and contrast how you look at it today and how it would compare today compared to before the internet, before computers, before live streaming, before social media, before all of that.
You kind of have to be in the know, right?
When you're in the know and it's word of mouth, that myth is a million times stronger, in my opinion. Because now it's so well known that it is just by verbatim said. Back then, you had to be in the know and have that knowledge and be like, damn, like, that's power. So I think it was more powerful than it is now.
William Robinson says, Sean's correct, the 59 burst was a thing in the 70s. I was there in the 1970s. So,
that's my point. I get where you're coming from, but saying that we would buy a 2006 guitar...
I guess what I'm saying is it's become their personality.
Yeah.
And become the thing.
Yeah.
Back then, it was not anywhere near, like, there was no newspaper articles written because so-and-so got this guitar.
Yeah, but back then there was newspaper articles. Now you pay for it and that's promotion and you ad placement and that's how you get into Spin Magazine and you got a #1 record. Like,
I think some of that is the people who bought those guitars were people like George Harrison. So now it's become news because, hey, George Harrison played this guitar. Like, because, like, if, later we're going to talk about the NAMM documentary and maybe react to it a bit on the video. So I've been watching it, right? So the scene where, like, they find George Harrison's, the stolen guitar that Eric gives him, right? And then he comes to NAMM because he needs to trade that guy Les Paul to get his Les Paul back. And Norm's like, yeah, I happen to have 3 bursts. It's like, back then it wasn't that much money, obviously.
Yeah.
But Harrison ends up buying 2 because he wants to keep one for himself and he wants one to trade for his Les Paul back. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat,
So they may have been great, but they were not like.
No, they weren't. And
dollar-wise,
they were obviously somewhat attainable at that point. Because that would have been what, like 80. Would that have been like 80s, like late 80s? You know,
in that time period. Because also they have the burst that was in Spinal Tap in the 80s, which also had its own provenance. The other thing with all that too is having played like a 59 Explorer.
I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed that, and now I don't know how much of that is psychological. Because I still think about that. Like, was it just that we're in the vault that is like, here's a big Ed, we paid $1.1 million for it? Like, is it?
But here's the thing to argue on top of all that. Psychological factor added in and everything. Isn't that the fucking point? Isn't that why we buy the shit that we buy? Isn't that why we seek this stuff and we go out of our way to hunt that thing and do it? Because psychologically, at the end of the day, we should all be playing aluminum neck guitars that we never have to set up on composite bodies that never move, and the bridge and intonation is absolutely perfect on it. Into Kempers, because all of that is easy and done.
And it's absolutely, you can repeat it.
You can repeat it again and again. We should be doing that, but none of us do that. None of us want that.
Chap Boogie says, people are now seeking 70s Martins and Gibsons. You couldn't give those guitars away 20 years ago. I really, and I shouldn't even say this. This is too hot of a take. I think that that's happening because none of the 60s and 50s guitars are attainable. So we've all decided, oh my God, they were cool. Now, don't get me wrong. I've played a handful of 70s electrics and acoustics that were great guitars. I don't think that's the general rule, though.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have become a thing if the 50s and 60s guitars, you know, like if you could go and get a 60 Les Paul or a 59 for the same money as a 70, there's no universe that you're gonna ever pick the 70. You know what I mean? I don't think so.
Well, and the only stuff 70s wise,
you're getting F-bomb money.
It's amazing.
They
just gotta keep dropping it. If you the 70s stuff, I think does get a bad rap to some extent. It's like anything. It's like a guitar from 2006. We could play a lot of them and find some good ones. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all horrible, but...
Oh, it's John Chapman from the Acoustic Shop. Hello.
Oh, that's cool.
He is Chat Boogie, so yeah, you know.
He's like, I can't believe he said all that crazy stuff.
I can't believe these guys.
That stuff, you're gonna bump in and play the right one, and it's gonna feel right. Just like you might play in a guitar from the 80s or 90s and have the same thing. It might get scarcer to find it, but...
So, according to Reverb,
okay.
All
right.
In the early to mid 70s, old bursts were about $1,200 to $2,500. Those dollars, according to today, is about $11,000.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's gone.
Oh, it's gone crazy.
Yes, obviously it's gotten bigger, but the myth was still there. For it to be a $10,000 guitar back then, we're talking about the myth. Like, you can't compare and contrast today to then. Like, that's impossible. Like, back then, you could say a lot of other words on live television and get away with it. Back then, you could do a lot of different things.
All things are true. All these things are true.
Up until 1970, you could do cocaine and it wasn't that much of a problem.
I just like Jose's comment that says Derek's like the voice of consciousness of casino. We can't see him, can't hear him most of the time, but he makes a lot of good points. Yeah, that makes me happy. Obviously, we found some things we're all passionate about.
I mean,
it's fine. I just think it's silly, you know?
Brand new, they were about today's value of about $6,500 in today's money new. So they really only doubled in price.
Yeah.
Between then to the mid-70s. Yeah.
So, what would that?
Which is still pretty
100%
awesome,
increase
you know?
is a net negative? No, it's like they're equal in my mind. I'm like, yeah. The further away you get from that time point and the internet and all of that shit going on builds that up more.
I mean, it's also $80,000 for a pickup truck now, so.
Exactly. Back then, a pickup truck was $2,500.
I mean, I know you could get like the work models and stuff for less, but I'm talking about like it's sort of insane. Alan, we don't let him like talk on the mic. It's too much. It's too much. We don't want him getting big headed. One day, Derek's gonna have a mic. We're gonna have the D mic.
We're gonna have the 360 cam. It's gonna be
D
dope.
mic. So who knows? Who knows?
So the 90s, they moved from about 20,000 to 100,000.
When was it?
Coincides with all the magazines.
I think the magazines played a big part, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. But that is also still intact to the fact that it was a myth to begin with.
Tom says, which makes the idea of how much money Norm is making. I wonder if he ever thinks, God, all those bursts and stuff I sold. I mean, obviously it can't work this way. Like, he had to sell them then to be what he is now. But I wonder if he ever thinks, man, if I'd have just hoarded those bursts. You
got to think, too, he played so much of a part of that getting into the right hands as well, get them out there.
I thought, and I know it's fresh in my mind, so that's why, I'm thinking about it because I watched last night. But them talking about Rick Vito writing that guitar, was it Premier Guitar, whatever magazine it was that like put Norms on the map. Sounds like that kind of in some ways started the crazy vintage thing as well. Like, oh my God, we got to go find these vintage things. It almost sounds like until that point, it was just the rock stars in LA who were going to Norms. You know what I mean? Which, well, I'm sure it's not that black and white or cut and dry, but.
Well, when did it shift from artists going out and finding that special guitar to everyday bullshitters going out and hunting it? You know what I mean? Like, and that goes to like a place like Norm's gaining popularity and vintage shops all over the world.
Or suddenly you want to go to Norm,
That's
like
right.
make the pilgrimage,
I would say like in the 90s, because at that point, like you hear Joe Bonamassa talk about him and his dad going on guitar safari and stuff like that in the 90s and just buying up stuff.
Well, I will say this. Here's what's funny to me, right? Like, I started playing guitar in probably 97 or 98, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. I was really consuming like the guitar magazines, like I'd go buy them, or I had a subscription for a little while. I don't remember ever wanting vintage stuff. I just didn't know. I just didn't have I wanted an American Standard Strat. I wanted new. I mean, that was.
Yeah.
Old amps or guitars weren't on my radar until quite a bit later. Yeah. I know you immerse yourself in that world, but I didn't have anybody around me who was like, oh, you needed something old. You know what I mean? That just didn't occur to me that like the old ones would be any better. In fact, I remember singing the tuners, like the vintage tuners with the little thing and the split. I was like, what a piece of shit. I got to have those new American, the stout ones, It's just fun. And now I'm like, every time I see that, I'm like, ugh, give me the vintage ones,
Yeah.
Things change over time. It's just weird.
It's like how you used to not think 40-year-old women were attractive.
And now I'm like, man.
They seem to be in the wheelhouse.
Hey.
Mom ass. That's what I like to look up on Reddit. Mom ass. We all like to get off to mom ass. For me, I started playing guitar in 2015.
Yeah.
I don't know what I saw or what I thought before that in my head, always the thing was I would love to walk into a place and find a vintage Fender and it be the guitar. Like, I would want to have one guitar and that would be it. I don't know where that thought came from. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I could look at and like say like, oh, it's all these different influences, but like being into Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that, all these different things like that. And
he plays a Strat.
Internet, that played into it, any movies and films and stuff that we watched that, idolized that stuff. Whatever those things were. I don't know what it was, but in my head, that was immediate. And my thought was always, get to that guitar. Get to the vintage Strat that I will play forever, and that's it. I have no idea what that would have been that influenced that. In the same comparison to you, what influenced you to say, I don't care about any of that. I hate the vintage styling of things even.
It just seemed I had never played a vintage thing with that kind of stuff that was any good.
Yeah.
Every time I got my hands on something like that, it was like, oh, this is. I mean, it was because they were old. They were like, they were just old.
Yeah.
They weren't like, oh, amazing. You know what I mean?
Well,
but it's not like they were old Fenders either. You know what I mean? It was like, or old Gibsons, right? I mean, we talked about this before. There were no Les Pauls.
It might be this thing in a store, and you play it and you're like, this fucking sucks. Because it also, well, not this model exactly, but some of these have those old school tuners with the split.
But you also know when you start playing, you don't know what's good. You know what you think is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it takes a while to figure out,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I can feel the difference in this thing or not, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. David says, are we doing any traveling this year? Hopefully we are. We're going to go to some shows, and we're going to go to NAMM, and...
This will get you a kick. Sean Brooks said, I think vintage guitars are for people who go antique shopping on the weekend with their great Aunt Susan.
Some of them are.
I think for me, I was always fascinated with old things, too. Like at a young age, I don't know why. Like I loved old shit, and I still do. So that, funny enough, that might have a thing to do with it. I never went to antique shopping with anybody, though. My grandparents thought holding on to shit was stupid. They would, like, get rid of stuff.
I remember, like... Well, I guess I was around old things, like old, like farm equipment and stuff. But it was just,
yeah.
I don't remember when I started thinking that was kind of cool. I feel like your generation though kind of embraced that again, like we like old things because you know I'm sure that some of that is probably in reacting to the things around you and the internet and digital stuff and just thinking, I just would like some real
golden
real
age America,
right?
Dude.
But who knows?
I want a knob to turn.
Who knows? Todd Roy, thank you. I'm mostly recovered. I'm just all stuffy.
We beat him up hard. You know what I mean?
Whew. All right. Anything else, boys? Anything else we need to cover now that we've gotten all? That was a good first 2025 live stream.
Ned just shared the final comment of the live stream.
It's too much. It's too much. I can barely contain it.
Talk about a note. Talk about a note. We call it going junkin' in my family.
Junkin'.
That's great.
I remember my grandparents used to like to go to friggin' yard sales at like 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. Sometimes I'd get drunk along. That was kind of fun sometimes.
Homegrown son said he wants a recording update. As I said earlier on, I got about 4 tracks. Rocking right now. I gotta finish up some vocal takes, and then Johnny Robb has 4 tracks that he's been cutting through. 2 of them, y'all just kind of hit the first time the other night, but they were sounding cooler and cooler. So
we're getting there. I gotta do a
like
little more writing. I need to lock myself away. So
It'll be good.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. Derek, is our video up on members only?
Just got put to the members
Oh
only.
my God!
It'll be there for about a week, and then we'll release it to everybody. But members
Maybe.
Get the first sneak at the
Maybe
first.
we'll.
we're gonna drop some bleeps in there, maybe.
And I will share the thumbnail so you can see what we got up there.
Alan Mitchell, all you got to do is shoot me a message, and we will make it happen.
Yes, dude.
Johnny, I've been on a few records lately, so which has been a lot of fun. I enjoy playing on people's stuff. So yeah, man, if you guys want me to play on stuff, just Instagram might be the easiest. You can email the shop, whatever, man. But I would love to do that. So
When do we hit enough subscribers to get Derek a mic?
never. That will never happen. We'll hit 1 million subscribers. No mic for Derek.
You may not
No.
hear what I'm doing over here.
We have to look at it behind the camera. It's bad enough.
So come check out the Money for Nothing.
Chicks for
That's
free.
right.
Chicks for
I
free.
want my CTV.
On the members only page, leave some comments.
I am on the NAMM documentary soundtrack at 36 minutes in.
That's
Thank you,
right, he
Todd Roy.
is.
Playing on my good friend John Wan's song. Go stream his song. It's called Pall Mall Blues. It's on Spotify. It's on other
Pretty
things.
sick. He's in the trailer too. You can
On
read
the
in
slide, it's
trailer.
me. Yeah, dude. Do it.
It's dope.
All right. We love you all. Hit like, hit
Thanks for
subscribe.
the super chats.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
We'll eat a good lunch
We
today.
won't
Thank
starve
you.
today.
Yeah.
Just get fatter. Goodbye.